Hi, this semester we developed a desktop app called GroupUs. This app is for Columbia University students to form groups among friends. Registered users could search, join, and post events of three categories, which are eat together, go home together, and study together. We created UIs based on JavaFX framework following the MVC pattern. We used Maven and adopted Jenkins as well as Git to build our CI pipeline. Now let's go to our demo part. Here we would demo three features, which are sign up, sign in, search for events, join event, view personal profile, and post an event. First, let's take a look at how to register for a new account. Here, first, the full name. You should just type in plain English without any special characters or make it too long. And for the email ID, we are particularly looking for a correct email format for Columbia University email address with both the correct prefix and suffix. For example, if you use Gmail suffix, you would get error message when you try to sign up use that account. It will remind you to use the Columbia email address. And same case for the prefix. And for the password, we want to make sure that you don't make a too short password. We want you to have at least six letters or 6 digits, and you cannot make that start with digits only. Here we make the password to be ABC123, and you can sign up successfully. And we would avoid duplicate email address in our database. For example, if you try to sign up again using that email address we just used, you would get error message reminding you that this account already exists. You can just sign in. And for the password, if you type in a wrong password by mistake, say CBA123, you would also get error message. And we use the correct password ABC123 to sign in successfully. And now if you take a look at your profile page, you see your joined list and post list are both empty because this is just a newly registered account. And now we can start to search for some events. Let's say we search for Eat Out Together category. And here you should type in your current location. We want to make sure that you don't make it empty or type in some invalid location, which the Google API cannot recognize, because we want to use a valid location to calculate the distance from your current location to those events. Here I will just use Columbia University as my current location. And as you can notice, the events are listed in an order of distance from your current location to those events, from close to far. And now we can just select one of them and click on join, and you will be direct to your profile page, and you can see that event has been added into your join list. Another small feature about join is that we don't allow duplicate join. For example, if you try to join that event again, we would give you error message reminding you that you have already joined this event before. And finally, let's see how to post an event. Here we have lots of attributes to fill in from the user. We want to make sure all of them has either correct content or correct format. First, for the start time and end time for the event, we want to make sure that your start time is at least later than your current time, and your end time should be later than your start time. This kind of to make sure that your start time and end time for the event is makes sense in reality. For example, if you try to create an event start at some day that already passed, we would give you error message reminding you that you should reconsider your start date and date setting. And if you choose a future time with correct combination of start time and end time, which we have later end time than the start time, you will pass the check for the time setting part. And for the subject, we have some simple check, like you cannot make it too long, or you cannot have special characters in your input. Right. Here, we can make an event, say study together, and we can just say practice presentation for practice presentation. And for the location, similar as we discussed before, we want to make sure you don't input invalid. Here I might have made the subject too long. Let's say practice final exam, and here it checked the location to make sure you always tapping the valid location. And for memo, usually we want you to tap in some detailed, like more detailed location. Let's say you might want to meet at the gate of certain library, and you can give some more detailed information about your event. Say we want to practice together for our final, and this way you can post this event successfully, and you can see this event has been added to your post list. And we design this in a way that every time when you post an event, you would be automatically join that event as well. And if you want to check the detailed information for an event, you can just click on that and see the full description for that event. That's pretty much about our demonstration for the feature for like how to use this app. We would now turn to the demonstration about the pre-commit and CI pipeline. Here, for example, every time when you make some change in your repository, let's say we make some change in our README, say hello, and we can add that change. And since we have configured the pre-commit file locally, when we want to commit something, the pre-commit process will be triggered first. We design in a way that it will, before it actually finish a commit, it will run all the unit tests first to make sure all the tests can be passed. Otherwise, it will reject that commit at the very beginning. And here we complete the commit, we can just push that change, which will trigger the CI pipeline in our Jenkins.
Because we have passed the pre-commit check, so now we jump to the GitHub page. We can see in our demo branch, okay, this is the update one. This is our newest commit, and this commit will trigger the Jenkins, will trigger the pipeline in the Jenkins. The Jenkins will check the status of the branch for each 1 minute. We'll check one time. So for some time we have to wait for a while. Okay, it comes. Firstly, the Jenkins will scan the all branches. Like for here, we have 5 branches. So and when it finds there are some changes in the demo branch, it will build a new pipeline, and we divide the pipeline into 6 stages. Like here, we can check each stages, the status of each stages. Like for checkout, the checkout is to catch the source code from our GitHub, and the compile, test, and package is where we use the Maven to build our project, and finally, if the building project has the unit test, it will return the success status back to the status will indicate it at the end of the commits, and finally it will run a static analysis. The PMD is a static analysis, and will publish the we use the Jacoco to run static analysis, and finally it will send an email to the user to notify the user the building process has been finished, and finally it will publish the PMD reports and the code coverage reports into our Dropbox. So we back to the GitHub, and when we can go to our Dropbox. So the build 45 is the newest one, and the PMD. So we can download the folder to have a better view.
明天这个对象不用那么多，如果你两个作战加两个考试也挺难，对吧？就是你要是一个考试的话，明天无论如何比这样做，不然你就见不到了。后2个月肯定见不到了。
We can see the PMD results. Here list some for 3 or 4 priority, warning or error, and we filter some lower one. And for the code coverage, we can see the progress bar, and which indicates the percentage, what percentage of the code has been covered through the unit test. We can say our code coverage has a good grade, and finally, also we can get into each class, get into each module, and say we can find like in the event service implementation class, well, what method has been totally covered and what method should be improved more. Our final step is because we just now have made some changes in our demo branch, and maybe in our development we need to like every developer need to firstly push his or her new code into his or her own branch, and then once the branch has passed through the Jenkins CI part check, and the final step is to merge the branches change into the master. So our final step is to request a new pull request. Now here our GitHub has adopted a branch policy in which the master is protected, and if we want to merge other branches changes into the master, the other branches has firstly need to be checked through by the Jenkins, and if the Jenkins come back the success status, then it can be merged. So here the GitHub checked, okay, the status is able to merge, so we can create the pull request here. This is to merge our demo changes, the demo branch changes into the master. And we can see here the demo branch has passed the required checks. Okay, the merge has done. And back to our master commit. We can see the commits from our demo branch has been merged into our master commits profile. And also this change in the master will also trigger the Jenkins to pass through the pipeline to check again whether the merge master still work well. Okay, the latest pipeline job from master branch has been done. So we can come back here, and this status, this sign indicates the success status. So this is our whole process of our CI part